Villain for me this week is my own dumb brain. So I was thinking about this.
We have a few of those.
We have a few of those. So this is just when I had started a new position at a new location for my old job. So like I moved to a new office, which was a construction yard, right? So like that's where all the supplies were, like trucks would go in and out and stuff like that. And so I'm with the person that I'm replacing. She's showing me around and this other guy who worked with her. And they're driving around Toronto and they're looking at things. And they kind of mentioned that like, oh, the key card, the pass that you use to get into the building and the yard, they're like, there's two different types of access for it, right? Okay. So there's like daytime access. So that's like for the office workers like me, and you go in and it allows you to go in and out. But then there's also 24-hour access in case people need to get in there for emergencies and like get equipment and stuff. So that's the information that is fed into my brain. So we're sitting there and I let a few minutes go. And what I meant to say was, at what time does my card stop working? Because if I'm out and I need to get back into the building, I want to make sure that I'm not locking myself out with my stuff there. Yes. So like at what time...
a standard question.
At what time does it transition from daytime access to nighttime access? But what I said was, what time is night?
What time is night?
And I am the new guy who's replacing this very competent person. And she just looks at me like, what the hell did you just say? And then obviously like I had to backtrack and explain, but it was just like, man, way to make a good first impression.
Yeah, that's hard when you're just meeting people. Because if it's your friend, you can just rip on them for the next... You're just going to hear about it for the next half hour and then it's going to be dead forever.
Just like, how is this guy an engineer and he doesn't know when night is?
No, you were that guy in the office. You were that guy.
I was performing for a TV recording as part of the technology gala, which was very embarrassing to me because I flew into Winnipeg and I got into the hotel room trying to connect to the room Wi-Fi and I could not do it. Next morning, I just sent a quick message to one of the other comics, also on the technology gala. I also knew was going to be there. And I was like, it's so weird that there's no room Wi-Fi. And he goes, what are you talking about? And I go, I tried signing in and you can't do it. Like the password, there's nowhere to put in the password. It doesn't work. And he goes, did you scroll down? Sure enough, you scroll down and there's a part where you just put in the password. Literally, just so this guy, I'm about to go on TV to talk about technology and this other comic is just like, hey, scroll down, you 90-year-old grandpa.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, that's an old man move.
Yes. How does this Wi-Fi work? So that's how this story starts.
No.
So it can...
Oh, no.
So another part is part of our welcome package because there's no parties because of COVID and stuff like that. They gave us just a couple cans of beer to be like, enjoy these in your room when you're done recording. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, there's no fridge here in the room. That's too bad. I go downstairs. I'm talking to some other comics as we're doing like wardrobe and makeup and all the rest. And I go, I have no way to get the beer cold then. I guess I'm just going to be drinking warm beer. And they go, well, why don't you just put it in your fridge? And I'm like, I don't have a fridge in my room. And they're like, there's a fridge in your room, Craig. There's definitely a fridge. And I was like, I don't think there is. I looked for one and there's no fridge in my room. I was like, are you sure there's a fridge? Like, does it look like a regular fridge? And they go, well, it's not like a full-size fridge, Craig. Because I'm getting a lot of flack for not being able to sign into the Wi-Fi. This has made its way around. They're like, it's not a full fridge. Do you not know what a fridge looks like? I was like, I've stayed in a hotel before. I know what a mini fridge looks like. I'm telling you, there's not one. And they're like, there is. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm in the same hotel. I go back up and I'm opening all these cupboards under the TV and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I guess this is the fridge that they're talking about, but it doesn't look like a fridge to me. So I try and open it and it won't open. It like opens like an inch and then it's locked shut. And I was like, well, maybe it's just like caught on the like the cabinet that it's in or something like that. You know, the door snagging or whatever. So I just like pull and pull and pull. All of a sudden there's this huge snap sound and the door swings open. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess it was just caught on something. And I take my beer and I put it in there and I shut the door, and there is immediately an electric motor that whirs and locks it again.
Oh, did you put it in a safe? Did you?
You're not the first person to think this. No, so but it's got a glass front on it and all the rest. I was just like, this is one weird ass looking thing. So I take a picture of it and I go downstairs and I was like, well, at least it'll be cold or whatever. And I show the other comics and they're like, oh, that's not a fridge. So what I had done is I had broken into the mini bar, which was entirely empty because of COVID. And so I'm the first person in history to break into a mini bar to stock it up with beer. Everyone's like, no, that's not the fridge. Your room just doesn't have a fridge. And I was like, thank you.
At least you got that.
At least I got that out of it. And then I get back to my room after the recording, and I'm like, checking in for my flight early the next morning. I was like, I'll have one beer. And I break into the mini fridge again, and I take the beers out. They're not even cold.
Because why would it be on if there's
why would it be on? And I drank a warm beer alone in my room, and then gave the other two away to comics who were staying because I couldn't take them on my flight. So that is Craig Fay versus technology, version whatever. Fridge versus minibar, but they did not charge me for opening the minibar. So we're